Hey, what's up, guys? I have two quick tips for you to become a better online English teacher. How to get the students activated, how to make the student happier, to bring out the best in the situation. Tonight, I opened some chopsticks. I opened them. I had a lot of new students today actually, but they all went amazingly well, and I got more bookings from the new students today. So this is a direct representation of what happened in my lesson. Like, for example, some of the lessons I went almost 8 minutes, 9 minutes, just showing some pictures. Like today, I went to a restaurant and I had a mango smoothie. I showed the mango smoothie, so it broke the silence, the awkward silence that you might get from having a new student, especially if they're younger and their English is very limited. But the parents are with them, and it was a great time. So, the first tip, really quickly, using the chopsticks. When I used the chopsticks, the kid liked it, and I could pull 3 easy questions from the chopsticks. This could be for beginner or advanced. Something quickly could be is, sometimes some people will say, don't ask someone do you know chopsticks, but still I do sometimes, and the student most of the time understands, yes, I do know, or no, I don't know, because I will get responses. But you could say something very easily is, do you have chopsticks? Do you have chopsticks? Do you have chopsticks? And then they could say yes, or they could say no. And it's a way that you could tap into something that the student is doing on a daily basis. So when you show interest in your student's culture, it's going to have a huge impact in the lesson. And hopefully they will come back and book more lessons with you. So, do you have chopsticks? And then do you like chopsticks? So you could have a do you have question and a do you like question. So then boom, you're expanding 10, 15 extra words into that student that they can practice and repeat, and the parent will remember that. You have to remember here, you guys need to be very confident when you're teaching English online with parents, with students, because the parents, over here in the eastern part of the world, yes, where I come from in the USA, there's many parents who are very strict and very disciplined on academics, but for the most part, it's a lot more athletics and sports oriented, But over here in Southeast Asia, China, Japan, South Korea, even here in Thailand, academics are super, super important, and specifically Japan, South Korea, and China. Academics are a way of life, study and homework and the school schedule and things like that. So the parents are on a very different level when it comes to their child's education from what I've experienced on a mass scale, And that's why I love teaching students from this part of the world, because you have not only the respect that the student gives to the teacher, but also at the same time, their culture is oriented to having respect towards education, because that will give you a better life. And sports are something which I'm a big fan of. I was a swimmer my whole life, and now more in this part of the world, sports are becoming more evident and things like that, and more parents are putting their kids in, swimming lessons and badminton and tennis, and, all countries have been big players in the Olympics and things like that for a long time. But what I'm trying to break through, because I've been dealing with this culture in this part of the world for a long time. So I'm just trying to break it down to you guys, because the parents, as I mentioned, you have to be confident because the parents are on a different level. So you have to keep the lesson rolling. So yes, showing photos from your photo library helps, absolutely. But then you got to be on your feet, and you got to be ready to move on to that lesson. Okay, you made the student happy. Now it's kind of a little bit more relaxed, they feel more comfortable. You got them speaking some English. You're using the chopsticks. but then boom, go right into the lesson, go right in, boom, go right into the next slide, okay? So I'm just trying to break it down exactly what I just did in my lessons. And right now I'm saving for an iPad. So when I have the iPad, I will be able to once again film and record some of my lessons, so I can show you how I introduce myself to new students, how I interact with my regular students, and things like that. Because I love speaking in front of the camera and explaining it, but having it, where you guys could see how I'm teaching and how I'm using my body language and my behavior, my attitude in the lesson and things like that, and how I can extract as much English as I can from my student each time. So this video definitely went a little bit longer than I anticipated because I was just going to share 2 quick things, but I just showed and told a lot of stuff right there. So anyway, the chopsticks are a great tool, Even if you show it 2 times, 3 times to the same student, there will still be an interest factor there. And then the next thing was chopsticks. Oh no, what was it? I forget. Well, I'll just say chocolate. Oh, and you guys, if you go, okay, that's pretty much it. But I was going to show something, but I forgot what it was. Anyway, I have to forget about it, and I'll just say that if you go to a restaurant, or if you made some nice food, like, say muffins, cookies, cakes, ice creams, things like that. Kids love that stuff. It can be healthy too, it doesn't have to be like super cheap processed stuff that you're eating, You can get the organic cookies, you can get the organic ice cream. You can go vegan ice cream if you want. You can get the coconut ice cream, Show the students something that, yes, they may have seen before, but show them something that you love. Show them the food that interests you, and that way you're going to see what their responses are, their reactions. You'll get more responses and reactions probably from students who can, understand more English. Like, I have some students where they're just straight up like, no, that's ugly. No, I don't like, teacher. Like, just boom, straight up, honest to your face. I love it. It's so cool. So anyway, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day, and make sure. Oh, I know the second thing. See, it all came back to me. The second tip that I have is that you need to make sure, especially with new students and yes, with regulars, to end the lesson properly. So for me, around the 24-minute mark, and it depends on how the lesson was going. It depends on how much conversation was happening or what topic you just finished on. There's a lot of different factors, okay? So if you have a lesson, it's 25 to 30 minutes. So around the 24-minute mark, I'll start to think, okay, how am I going to kind of, wrap this up and finish it, and then make the student happy, feel secure, and if the parents around, make them feel secure, like I'm not just trying to run off, And, when you have 4 lessons in a row, yes, I will get out of there by the 26-minute mark, pretty much. And I'll tell the student, and they know. A lot of students will look at your schedule. They know what you're doing during the day. They may not say it. They may not like your photos and stuff, but some of them are checking out what you're doing. So always show stuff that's going to bring out the best in you, and bring out something that's going to leave a positive footprint, And as I'm saying, when you're wrapping up the lesson, have a nice day, or have a good night. Like, for example, it's tonight, so have a good night. It was really nice to meet you, new students, and good to see you. It's good to see you. It's little stuff like that. You got to put a smile on. That's what I'm talking about in the previous video. You can't have a shy personality. Like, you have got to have the energy. You got to have the attitude and the behavior and the flavor and the character. You got to be able to jazz it up a little bit. And being creative on the spot. That's one of the things I really love just about life in general, is imagination. So, yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, you're going to have to take a risk sometimes to try something new. But, you have to be willing to do that, and that's the only way you're going to find out how to become better. And I think that's what, not only with teaching, but the same in life. So when I bring that into my classroom online, there's a challenge, if I have a new student or a regular student. But even with my new students, it's all about your attitude. And sometimes you're going to get really challenging lessons. But if you keep the right attitude, and if you really love doing this, because, if you really love doing this, then, you're in it for the right reasons. So anyway, that's it for today. It's Sunday. The weekend it's all these days blend in together. I'm just on the societal clock, the weekend, right? So had a great weekend. Went to a new restaurant today. Posted a few things on Facebook and Instagram. I want to say thank you guys for following and watching these videos on YouTube. It really, really means a lot to me. And I'm just hoping to reach more and more people, help more people out, get a new job, into Palfish, and get them started on their TEFL abroad, TEFL journey, and teaching English online and giving tips. Because once you've pretty much, you've got $1,000 a month to $2,000, and then you work your way up to, even $3,000, maybe even $4,000. It's possible if you're really, really great at, at online teaching, instructing online, with kids, ages 4 to 14. If you can do it, you can financially make a lot of dough. And at the same time, you have a lot of freedom because you're at your home. And then you have a lot of flexibility because you create your own schedule. And that's what the real magic and the real amazingness behind, Palfish. It's just like being there before the official course started, when it was just free talk and things like that. And now to be on with the official course and to see it evolve over the past 3 years now. It's 3 years, April 2016 is when I first started. And just pray for the best, and hope for the best. And don't look at something how it is now, but look at something, what it can be, later in the future, long term. You got to be thinking in the long game. You got to have endurance like a marathon runner. So it's great to run some sprints, but mentally you got to be able to keep walking and keep rolling with it, because that's what it truly becomes. If I stop making videos on YouTube and stop helping people, then all the stuff that I've done is just kind of like, where's the... Because I see it happen to so many people with just life and teaching and career-wise, and people I've met, through traveling and things, and I'm just like, wow, this person has a lot of talent with this. Why does that person not want to pursue it? So anyway, getting people activated on their career is something that gives me the juice. It makes me excited to give back on on the behalf of what I've been doing with my life and my journey here and planet Earth. And I'm just here, just a guy here, in a human body, projecting happiness, good ideas and good thoughts, and wanting to project that out into this world. Because yes, this is a camera, yes, this is an iPhone, I'm looking at it right now, but if you go and upload a video or you go and upload a photo, you never know what kind of an impact positive words and bringing a little bit of your own true story. That's why I'm saying it. Having your own truth, whatever your own truth is going to inspire and uplift more people. So the more people that we can have happy and feel positive and things like that, then, globally, we can move into a place where more and more people are happy to wake up in the morning. More and more people are happy to do whatever they have to do to make the financial, to get their financial needs and wants met, And without teaching English online, without Palfish, none of this would be possible. I would not have the freedom that I have in my life now, and the flexibility. And I'm just so thankful and so happy that I can share this on YouTube, and that this video is forever, I can preview it to people on Instagram, and then I could hopefully get a website later in the future, maybe this year sometime, and upload it there. And it's just like, this whole internet thing, it's amazing, this kind of the life in the world that we're living in right now. And too many people are sitting on the sideline, and it's okay to sit back for a minute, get some awareness, meditate, and see what's going on. But you got to get in the action of what your destiny is. You got to have the courage. You really do. It comes down to courage. I mean, there's a lot of words you could say, but define courage. It's doing something that you're unsure about, doing something that maybe other people are not willing to do or scared to do, or that voice inside of you. And I just try to stay in this field of, I can't allow myself to worry, because the stuff that I've been through, it's nothing compared to what other people go through, and it's nothing compared to what I'm experiencing right now. So, and it's just really all in the head. If your necessities are met, then you can let your imagination run freely. And when you do that, everybody has their own place in this world. We all really, really do. We all have our own place in this world. And yeah, the school system failed us. Like the stuff that we had to focus on as kids was a complete waste of our time. We should have been focusing on other things, a different type of curriculum and subjects, but that's a whole different topic and discussion. So you've got to make up for lost time. And that's what I started to do when I essentially stopped swimming at 19 years old, when I was in Florida at Indian River Community College, now State College. And when I stopped swimming, I had all this free time, and I was like, whoa, nobody's telling me to go to swim practice. Like, I had to start self-teaching myself, and doing the whole self-taught method. And then after I came back from Costa Rica, my first time doing a homestay experience, after my TEFL certification was finished and was able to teach abroad for a little bit, and then coming back to Orlando, Florida at UCF, I had lost a lot of my friends because I went abroad and I didn't really stay in contact with so many people. And then I lost friends in contact too because my ideas had changed so much. And, the Tico people, the Ticos in Costa Rica, los Ticos and las Ticas, they son amables, they're amazing people, and they're just, when you go to a different culture and you fall in love with that culture, it has a huge impact on the way you live forever, so when you go back to the place that you once were, it's going to be shocking, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be like maybe depressing, because it was for me. But through all the last decade, really, since 2009, 2010, good solid, the last decade pretty much. I had to go through all these experiences and be willing to put myself and sacrifice myself through different, very, not good situations. And I could say I was really stupid for doing a lot of stuff, but all of those mistakes led me to where I am right now. And that's all I'm trying to get through to you guys in this huge video that I started with about teaching online tips. But I'm giving all this extra stuff out there for you guys because I know there's a lot of people who want to listen to the story. They want to get the inspiration. They want to feel the energy. They want to get inspired from a story, because I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I'm, it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. You are an energetic field. You have a soul. You have a heart. You have a brain. You have a voice. Hopefully you can use your voice, Something is going on inside your body that is different from every other person on this whole planet Earth. And you don't want to get older in life and start having regret. You don't want to get older in life and start thinking, man, I should have done this or I should have done that. In your 20s, you got to go travel. You got to do some volunteering. You got to do some teaching. You got to go to places where people don't have as much as what, you grew up with. And you go to a place where you have less than what you grew up with. and it's going to change your whole world. It's going to rock your reality, you know? And it's also the greatest feeling in the world. And it's going to create the most amazing memories. The friendships, the relationships, the pictures. You know, this is before Facebook really got big and before Instagram and stuff when I first went to Costa Rica. And, you know, share your stuff and don't do what everybody else is doing. Don't follow the crowd. You know, find your own lane and focus on yourself. Yes, build others up. And at the same time, build yourself up. And focus on what truly makes you happy, what truly matters, and what also has a true impact in other people. And the only way you're going to find that out is by going out there and experimenting and trying new things and failing and then succeeding and failing and succeeding and, you know, understanding what doesn't work and understanding what does work. And that's through trials and tribulations and through social media interaction. It's true. And finding out what works best for yourself and how you can help other people around the world. And that's why language is super crucial. I'm going to say that real quick. Just language. Communication. That's where the true magic is at. You know, yeah, of course, I speak a couple different languages, not super fluently and stuff, but I can understand quite a bit. And you know, Spanish, Thai, a little Chinese, a little bit of Brazilian, you know, I can understand a little bit of Portuguese, but mostly from the accent that's in Brazil, you know. And then, but when you tap into new languages, then you can get a whole different understanding and perspective of that culture, where people come from, the history, the richness, you know, the food. And I love history and I love geography. So I think now my brain is starting to take over Thai more than Spanish. You know, I had a long history with Spanish, and especially living in Florida and surrounding myself as a teacher with, you know, non-native English speakers for 10, 12 years pretty much, you know. And now I'm over here in Asia, you know, so I'm surrounded with Thai people, and I'm the only one, and my wife, you know, her English is not perfect, but so now my brain waves are working on Thai, you know. So I say that and I'm just sharing it. Thank you guys so much, and just make the most of your life, okay? Have a great night, have a great morning, have a great day, eat healthy, go exercise, get strong, get more flexible today, get more positive today, and start making more money today. That's a great goal. Just make it happen. Have the most amazing day. You got to say these things to yourself, you know? Like, I'm really picked myself out of this rut. And I want to say thanks to Ralph Smart. I have to say that. Ralph Smart, you know, Infinite Waters. I haven't watched this stuff in months. And lately, the few days, I've been just catching a little bit of his Instagram live and catching a few things that he's saying on his titles of YouTube videos and things like that. I'm just like, wow, yeah, I gotta remember to be positive again. I gotta remember how much attitude and behavior and, you know, taking a step back and seeing everything and meditating and getting conscious of your actions again and your thoughts and how powerful that is. And it's made a huge impact over the weekend. That's why I had a great weekend. So thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. And to everybody out there, keep rolling forward. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias por todos amigos en todo el mundo. Adios. See you later. Well, you'll see me on YouTube, okay? Later.